forward to the challenge of not necessarily rebuilding the Browns, because the Browns have a wonderful, wonderful history, but being a part of getting the team back to where they should be. And I'm talking about the playoffs and potentially the Super Bowl. That's the goal of every organization in this business.
Hello, I'm Jamir Howerton inside the team meeting room at Browns headquarters in Berea, and that was a listen to the Browns' new team president, Mike Holmgren, during his first press conference with the Cleveland media last month. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to take an exclusive look at the life and career of the Browns' new man in charge. One thing that became clear to me early on in our conversation is that Mike Holmgren plans to use his past experiences to help make the Browns a winner in the future. And you're coming to a team here that hasn't won a playoff game since '95 and a title since 1964. Talk about the task that is ahead of you.
Well, I think it's a challenge, and I think when you come into an organization where it's been a time frame, as you mentioned, like that, you can run into some obstacles that are there because it's been so long. And so the important thing to do is to try and identify what those problems could be, get people to think differently perhaps, to believe that you can win, that you can experience some of that wonderful feeling when you can take a team to the playoffs and a championship. You know, we did it in Green Bay to a certain extent. I think we accomplished a lot of that in Seattle. And now I get, I'm a very lucky man. I get a chance to try and do it again here in Cleveland.
Cleveland, much like Green Bay, a city that runs on football, did that have anything in your decision making in coming here?
Absolutely. You know, the history of the Cleveland Browns in the National Football League had a lot to do with it. I can remember going into Green Bay with those same types of feelings. Because when I was a kid growing up in San Francisco, of course you loved the 49ers, and I knew all of it. But at the same time, the 49ers always played the Cleveland Browns in those days. And the Packers and the storied franchises to me in the National Football League. So to have an opportunity to be a part of something like that near the end of my football life was just too much to pass up.
You mentioned as a kid growing up in San Francisco watching football, but what do you remember about this orange and brown helmet? Well,
just that. I mean, if there's been one constant, and one of the constants in this league, in an ever-changing business, it's that helmet. Pretty special. I can remember the orange. It's very cool. I don't know how orange is with me as a color, but the helmet is something special, and it identifies, and people identify with it, this football team.
Looking back on the rich history and such greats as Jim Brown, Lou Groza, Otto Graham, when you're bringing in new players, how important is it to convey that message of the rich history of the Cleveland Browns?
Well, I think it's important. I think you have to. I think most of the young players coming into the league today really are focused on the here and now because it's their life. They want to play football. There's a lot of angst about whether they're going to make the team. But once they're on the football team, absolutely they must understand the history of that football team. Again, I'll reference Green Bay with those. We had a wonderful tradition there, but it had been 25 years, 30 years before. But I tried every chance I got to talk about those fellows, what it meant to wear the jersey, now what it means to wear this helmet. They should know those things. They should know about the players that laid the groundwork for this great business of ours, great league of ours.
When we come back, we'll hear from Mike Holmgren on creating a winning formula in the NFL.
Own a timeshare? Turn it into cash.
No more mortgage payments.
Thank you, Timeshares Only.
At Timeshares Only, you'll find properties from the biggest names in the industry. If you want to buy, sell, or rent, call now. Call Timeshares Only and get your free information kit with our insider secrets to buying, selling, and renting timeshares, plus receive a free $100 gift card.
The over $5 billion sold in the past 6 months proves now can be the best time to sell.
Call 1-800-317-0219. That's 1-800-317-0219.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Did the cavemen invent fire? Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Is Ed too tall, Jones too tall?
Honda Accord and Toyota Camry stand behind their powertrain for up to 60,000 miles. Chevy Malibu stands behind theirs for up to 100,000 miles, which makes it pretty clear who's standing out front. A Consumer's Digest Best Buy 2 years running. Chevy Malibu. Compare it to anyone, and may the best car win. Now, qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on this 2010 Malibu LS for around $199 a month. Call for details.
Visit clickchevy.com today.
AT&T covers 97% of all Americans. That's a lot of people. I've collected a few postcards of all the places that AT&T has coverage. Spokane, Washington. Boston, Mass. San Francisco. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Dated a girl from there. Warren, Michigan. Didn't work out. Bozeman, Montana. Daytona Beach, Florida. Madison, Wisconsin. Good college town. Dallas, Texas. Phoenix, Arizona. Left my wallet there one time. I think we get the picture.
If you want coverage, we've got it. AT&T.
When Mike Holmgren arrived in Green Bay in 1992, the Packers had appeared in the playoffs just once since 1967 and recorded only 4 winning seasons in that time. But within 4 years, he brought the Vince Lombardi Trophy back to Titletown. Here's more with my conversation with Mike Holmgren. Well, let's talk about your time in Green Bay. Let's talk about building that foundation, playoffs after playoffs, championships. What was so special about your time in Green Bay?
Well, it was the idea of a group of people coming together with a singleness of purpose, and through hard work and unselfishness, getting something done that's pretty neat. It takes a whole bunch of people. It wasn't Mike Holmgren or Brett Favre or Mark Chimura or Reggie White. It was everybody. Not only on the field and the coaching staff, but everyone in the organization. And when we did win the Super Bowl there, everybody was happy. Everyone felt that they had contributed, and they did.